about it is like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for so long and I still am bad at it. But there was this pizza I was serving somebody called a uovo, which has like a soft boiled egg on top. Means egg in Italian.
Sure.
And I put it on the table. These trays that we had were like really heavy stone trays, and I somehow sort of like lost my balance a little bit, and the egg rolled off the top of the pizza directly into the guy's pants. And this is Brentwood. Like, those people are really fancy and rich.
They take their pants pretty seriously.
And that they do.
Yeah.
They're fancy pants
deal.
people.
Fancy pants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so he was a little upset. But we did that. That's always the go-to. If you spill on somebody, it's like, oh, we'll get this dry cleaned for you. Even if it's at the Olive Garden, it's like, you got that at Ross.
Yeah. I mean, leave the pants on now, but like take care of that, and then we'll handle it on the back end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at your initial note to me.
Yeah.
And it's like I kind of want to build up to this, but I mean, it just is incredible. Okay, well, first off, I'll build up to the second one you told me about, but you worked at one point in Chicago at a sausage shop and at a vegan diner at the same time.
I did,
So
yeah.
Tell us about that experience. That you were, well, you go ahead and tell us.
These places are great, so I'll shout them out. Gene's Sausage Shop in Lincoln Square. It's a very cool,
I love Lincoln Square.
old world Polish sausage shop in a German neighborhood. So there was this place. They used to be enemies. There was Gene's Sausage Shop in some other neighborhood, and then there was Meyer Delicatessen in Lincoln Square, and they were like sworn enemies. And then Meyer Delicatessen closed, and then Gene's Sausage Shop opened a new place in their stead, in the place of the old enemy. But I worked there.
So basically, Germany invaded Poland once again.
Germany invaded Poland once. No, it's the
other way around.
So
it's Polish
Success.
Revenge.
Yeah,
excellent.
Polish Revenge is sort of like that's when you get diarrhea after a bad sausage.
Anyway, so I worked there, and it was great, and they were very scary, and there were these Polish women in the basement who would yell at me in Polish, and one of the women hid. It was like a old world grocery store with a beer and sausage wine garden on the roof, and this one woman yelled at me because I wasn't sweeping properly. She hid a shallot under the grocery baskets to see if I was sweeping properly. And then 4 days later, she came up to me and she was like, what is this? And I was like, I don't know, looks like an onion. She was like, first of all, it's a shallot.
What's a shallot? I don't even know.
It's like an onion.
I don't even know why.
I thought you meant like
it's just to make people feel bad about each other. It's like when people call French green beans haricot vert or whatever. It's just like, shut up, you're just trying to make people feel bad.
It's a goddamn green bean.
Yeah, it is. It's a green bean. Anyway, so she was like, it's a shallot. I put this under there 4 days ago because I knew you weren't sweeping thoroughly enough. So they were really scary people.
Jeez.
But that's where I learned all of my work ethic. They would just always be like, make it looks nice, is what they would say all the time.
My father is from Poland, and he would give me coloring books when I was a little kid. And I was like, I want to get a comic book. And he'd be like, let me look at the coloring book. I'm looking for quality and quantity. And I'm like, I'm 7 years old. I just want to like get a goddamn comic book.
He also wanted quantity? He wanted to see how many pages he would color.
How much did I color before he'd move on to the next one?
Wow.
But you know what? But it did teach me to be thorough, so hey.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like a thorough guy.
Yeah. But anyways.
Like
Anyway, I worked there.
passive-aggressive.
Mostly in the day, and then I didn't make any money there, so I got a job at this vegan diner called the Chicago Diner. It's one of the world's oldest vegan restaurants, and they named it the Chicago Diner so that people would just show up. They didn't want vegan in the name because it opened in like 1983, you know, when vegans were like
A cult, basically.
Yeah.
People are like, well, we can't eat there. Why?
Yeah, and
it's
people
vegan,
would still
but
do
we're
it because
Jewish.
it's just called the Chicago Diner. They would
I
just
know
show
that place,
up.
yeah. Oh my god.
People would just show up and they sit down and then they go, "Oh, is there no meat here?" And they'd be like, "Ugh," and then they would just have to leave, and then they would leave. It happened all the time.
Yeah.
But I worked at both places at once, and so I would work in the morning at the sausage shop, which you would smell a lot like sausage.
I would think.
And sometimes I would have to go directly to the diner afterwards, so I would just Febreze the meat smell off of myself to go into the diner.
Not knowing if your career is going this way comedy-wise, but I think that's your first album title, Febreze the Meat.
Febreze the meat smell. I do turn to Febreze in times that I shouldn't. And a Tide to Go pen.
Yeah.
My wife was making fun of me because I use a Tide to Go pen before I leave the house on like I don't know, if there's stains on you and then you take care of it. And she was like, it's called Tide to Go because it's supposed to be something that happens to you out, like, not like you're leaving the house, but I don't know. Save on laundry for reason.
It works at home.
Yeah.
And I'm going somewhere. Tide to go. I'm about to go.
Plus, if you wait tables, like, I don't know about you, but I'm down to like 3 shirts, basically.
In your life?
Yeah, I'm basically.
Because it ruins all your shirts?
Yeah, I'm like on a very tight shirt rotation. You know?
I broke my rule, which was don't work at a place where you have to have a uniform after the Olive Garden. And I'm breaking my rule. This place I'm actually wearing it because I'm going there after. Oh. But it's not a bad one. That's the trick. If you have to wear a uniform at a restaurant, just make sure that it's not a bad one.
What type of restaurant are you in? No.
It's a hoity-toity pizza parlor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those like John and Vinny types, but it's not John and Vinny's.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so then there's... Okay,
Vinny
so
and
this
John's?
Yeah.
Is it Vinny and John?
Vinny and John's.
Famous Ray's famous.
So here's the story that like blew my mind, no pun intended. You actually said that you once had to clean up vomit in the restroom at the vegan place. After what happened?
I forgot that I told you this.
Yeah.
So the Chicago Diner is on Halstead
ruin
Street.
the Yelp rating.
Yeah. No, it's fine. You should go there. It's very good vegan food, and they have great vegan shakes. Anyway, it's on Halstead in Chicago, in a neighborhood called Boys Town, which is a gay neighborhood. And so the Gay Pride Parade every year goes past there, along with this other thing called Market Days, which is similar to the Gay Pride Parade, but they don't feel any need to, like, further any cause. I don't know if you've ever seen that Onion article that's like that comes out every Gay Pride where it's like Gay Pride Parade sets back gay rights 50 years. So I think that they came up with this thing called Market Days so that they didn't have to deal with that.
Although I will say, Market Day, even though there's no cause, a lot of the booths and vendors at Market Days are donating. Like
of course.
When I lived in Chicago, I worked for Playboy Corporate, and we had a booth set up at Market Days one year that, all the proceeds from the T-shirts and stuff were going to AIDS research and the Playboy Foundation. So it's not completely without cause.
Yes.
I mean, it's commerce, of course.
Market Days is for the good of... I think it's just what it is generally is like every neighborhood has like a strawberry day, a street fair, and that's their street fair, and it gets pretty rowdy. And
our podcast is anti-AIDS. I just want to go on the record.
Yeah.
Oh, not for AIDS?
Staunchly against it.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we were championing.
Wait, how did that happen? Okay, sure. Okay, go ahead.
Better safe than sorry.
So
that should be the slogan for all safe sex campaigns.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Instead of just saying no, go to grade schools and tell kids, better safe than sorry. It'll sound sweet and parents won't notice. Okay, so anyway.
So we were working there during Market Days, and 2 dudes went into one of the bathrooms together, and we were like, that's not allowed, especially during Market Days. But that's the weird thing about working there is like it's a very open, friendly place. It's vegan. The people tip well. People are open-minded. But you still know, like, if you work there, you got to gear up. Like, some shit's going to go down. So I worked at Market Days, and thanks. I was working. Two guys
going to the bathroom.
2 guys going to the bathroom. Thank you.
2 Corinthians.
First and second. And man, they bolted out of the bathroom, and we were like, "Oh man, something bad just happened in there."
Never a good sign.
One of their wieners were out still.
What?
Running? So Chicago Diner is this is like a railroad apartment turned into a restaurant. So it's just like a narrow one of those buildings. And so they just bolted out the front door. One of their wieners was out, and the other one had vomit on his face.
Oh no!
And in the sausage place, that wouldn't really be that out of character, but...
No, well, that day it was a sausage restaurant,
Exactly.
too. So,
Yeah. Every day is
lots of
every
meat.
day during market days. It's
Yeah.
it's a sausage.
So what
restaurant.
happened? I imagine.
So then it was up to me to go into the bathroom and see what happened. And what
Look
we
at
thought had happened had indeed happened, which was that they were enjoying. One of them was enjoying themselves, and the other was
Not.
providing enjoyment, and wasn't great at it, I guess, or was too drunk. So there was a lot of vomit in the bathroom
Oh boy,
that I had to clean up from.
Wow.
that.
brutal.
Wow.
Yeah,
We had somebody at a
Did you,
restaurant.
offer,
worked at-
did you offer to send that guy to the dry cleaner?
just yelling after him.
Bring us
if
a
your
receipt.
jorts need to be dry cleaned, we'll do it.
Bring us a
They
receipt.
all wear jorts.
I worked at a place when there was a big party downstairs in this atrium, and somebody in the middle of these festivities had pooped on the floor. But it was like a pretty highfalutin gala kind of fundraiser.
And there's just
Someone had
a loose poop?
pinched a loaf, and someone just covered it up with like a traffic cone because there was really no way to clean it up tactfully. So there was just like a cone-covered poop on the floor for the rest of the night.
So the cone was perfectly over the
It just so happened to work out that way.
in the hollow part of the cone.
Here's okay. So we can move beyond restaurants, correct, and say the grossest things that we've ever had to do for a job.
All right.
Okay, so what? My first job was I got a job at a movie theater in Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock, Arkansas, where I grew up actually. And one night we weren't responsible for cleaning the bathrooms, except one night, assistant manager comes in, this real sleazy pervert, and he's like, "Guys, we really can't wait for the janitorial on this one. Somebody's got to clean the bathroom." And I was the youngest and the newest employee there, so I drew that short straw. I walk in, and somebody had completely painted the toilet seat in poop. Oh, I mean, like slathered out like a coat of brown paint.
Was this around the time Sex and the City 2 came out?
And I was like,
Inspired by.
I was like, no. And I didn't have to do it. I don't know. I can't remember if anybody else had to go in, but they were like, really? I go, yeah, really. I'm going to call my parents. I was like 15. Of course, I would look ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous at most jobs, but, you know, they're not going to they're not going to face up to anybody's parents going, yeah, we insisted on your son cleaning this, you know. So
And your dad was
Wait,
like,
so you called your parents and were like,
I know. I
"Hey,
said I
tell
will
them
call my parents
if
and
you make me clean it up."
if you insist I clean this, they're coming in first, and
you don't
you're going
know-
to tell them.
you don't
that
know how
you're-
much my dad values quality and quantity. There's not.
Yeah, did they do a thorough job?
No, so we wound up having I think it lasted for the janitors. They just sealed off the stall. He thought it couldn't be done. I'm like, no, there's got to be a way to seal off the stall.
No.
So,
No.
But I've never forgotten, like, how could somebody do that? I mean, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And not just why would you do that for others to have to find and clean?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Period. It
Yeah.
means you're touching it and rubbing it around.
That's an issue. How did they clean it up? Like
I don't want to know. I don't know.
You didn't ask like the
Hazmat
very
crew.
next time you
Hazmat.
came into their place. I would have been like, "Tell me every bit of how
I
that."
need to know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I didn't want to. I want to. That just popped into my head after 30 years. I blocked it. But, you know,
That's what you're.
Sleep well tonight, Carl.
yeah. But, no, and then, God, okay, I promise jumping right back to you, Skyler, but I also had this other weird incident happen at the same movie theater, because you're speaking about this, pleasure giving in this restaurant. Well, there was this one weird, we used to have, I worked there in 87 and 88, right at the dawn of home video taking over crap movies. So our theater was a UA regular theater, had 8 screens, but there was always like one screen that had some crap movie that shouldn't even be direct to video. And every week we'd change out to this, and there was always this one like really weird looking serial killer looking dude that would only go to those movies every week, those movies. But then there was also this Asian guy dressed in a classy suit. Every week he would show up with the same beautiful knockout Asian woman, and they would pay for this crap movie at like 1 PM. And so this one guy was kind of a redneck. He was like, I don't think they're just watching a movie. There's just no way people that classy looking could be watching movies that bad. So we went up to the projection booth, and we looked down, and of course the woman is servicing the guy. And so it was supposed to be pitch black in there. Nobody else is in the theater. So the redneck dude hit the automatic lights button, and the whole theater went like floodlights, everything up all at once. And